Join us in celebrating a monumental milestone in history. On Sunday, December 11th, from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Black Fire Brigade, 8404 South, Kedzie Avenue, Chicago's African-American firemen celebrated the 150th anniversary of Engine 21, the nation's first paid black firehouse in 2022. Hosted by the author Black Heroes of Fire, Dekalb Walcott Jr. This event highlights Engine 21's iconic history and its groundbreaking contributions to firefighting. Engine 21 not only made history as the first paid black firemen in America, Engine Company 21 invented the fire pole that got them to fires faster than their white peers during the Reconstruction era. Before Engine 21, black firemen served as slaves in cities like Charleston, Savannah, and New Orleans as far back as 1820. Engine 21 led the charge in firefighting innovations, inspiring other firehouses to adopt the sliding pole, increasing their response times.
Battalion chief is on a mission to correct history. Dekalb Walcott travels around this country lecturing about the nation's first black fire company and efforts to increase minority representation in the Chicago Fire Department. Leanne Trotter explains.
It's a picture of the original members of Engine 21, established in 1872 as the first paid African-American engine company in Chicago and the nation.
The sliding pole came out of Chicago by these brave group of men.
Put that picture on the front of his book, Black Heroes of Fire.
I kept hearing these stories about black firemen who invented the sliding pole, some of the great deeds that they had done.
Now he spends time traveling around the country educating people about the rich history of African Americans serving in the Chicago Fire Department. A few weeks ago, Chicago City Council issued a proclamation acknowledging Engine 21 and the invention of the wooden sliding pole, which was later replaced by brass fire poles. Meanwhile, Chief Walcott is concerned about lingering stereotypes.
This is the impression that white people got of black people, that they were bumbling idiots, and they were misfits, and they were unworthy of serving in the fire service.
And to this day, the number of African American firefighters is still declining.
My goal is to rid us of these caricatures that were created by Carrier Knives, which has lent support to other people's thinkings of who we are and how we perform.
Walcott and his colleagues are also involved in recruiting more young people thanks to a training program run by Chicago's Black Fire Brigade on 84th and Kedzie.
We've been here almost 150 years and we are not going nowhere.
Leanne Trotter, NBC5 News.
Black Heroes of Fire, the history of the first African-American fire company in Chicago, is an inspiring chronicle authored by Dekalb Walcott Jr., a retired battalion chief with over 3 decades of service in the Chicago Fire Department.
Brandon Pope, the story of Engine 21 holds a special place in Chicago's history as a symbol of progress and resilience. Brandon Pope shares how their dedication and bravery paved the way for greater opportunities and advancements for black firefighters.
Dekalb Walcott served on the Chicago Fire Department for more than 30 years before retiring as a battalion chief in November 2009. He's now a historian and author of Black Heroes of Fire that tells the story of Engine Company 21, the first paid black fire brigade in the country, started by John Jones.
Jones encouraged that Mayor Medill at that time, after the Great Chicago Fire, that blacks should be a part of the mainstream of society. Mayor Medill was a part of that. He was all in on that. He was able to, through an executive order, establish Engine 21 as an all-black fire company with the officer David Kenyon, who was white, and the engineer Henry Pettibridge, who was black.
Although these firefighters didn't make much money, Walcott says they worked hard each and every day and created one of the most notable innovations in firehouses across the nation, the sliding pole.
Now, one of the commendable things about them is they drilled regularly because they had to be better than everybody else. They had to have some excitement about Engine 21 in order to maintain that company. And so as a result, they're hitting the door 12, 13 seconds in the daytime.
But instead of receiving praise, the black firefighters were ridiculed.
Other companies joked about their idiotic wooden pole that they put in the firehouse. They discontinued laughing when Engine 21 was first on the scene at fires that they were second and third up.
Fire Engine 21 was also pivotal in battling the Great Chicago Fire of 1874.
It was considered and called the Black Fire because many blacks were left homeless. And so during that fire, in the black section of town burned down, which stimulated the great migration from the downtown area to the south side. The south side, when they went up South State Street, it extended as far south as 35th, 39th Street. So that particular strip where blacks live was considered and called the Black Belt.
It's an area we now know as Bronzeville, where much of Walcott's photos and images of Engine 21 can be found at the Bronzeville Historical Society. Executive Director Sherry Williams takes great pride in holding the collection.
When you think in terms of where people would want to come and find the histories of black presence in Chicago, although we have many institutions that record and document those experiences, we're the only place that illuminates those of African descent. And so I found it very important that the narrative about African American firefighters be here.
How do people react when they walk through and they see the pictures and the history and even the innovation like the sliding pole?
They want to know more. And not only the early history of African Americans in the fire department, they want to know currently, what are these men and women doing today?
The answer can be found about 6 minutes away, where it's not just the walls of the Historical Society that hold this proud history.
1, 2, 3, 6! 1, 2, 3.
The Engine 21 legacy burns bright at the Black Fire Brigade, a Southside nonprofit training young black men and women to be EMS and fire safety professionals, boosting diversity in the industry.
The history is definitely felt throughout the program.
Lieutenant Quentin Curtis started the program in 2018.
I kept seeing all these kids getting shot, so I went into the community and said, hey, you know, if your buddy got shot, what would you do? He said, I would call you. I said, what if I show you some techniques that you could possibly save his life?
It's work that Curtis believes impacts public safety by giving people opportunity and career exposure. In just 5 years, the Black Fire Brigade has trained over 1,400 professionals around the country. He estimates they fueled $8.5 million back into the black community with no city, state, or federal support.
They're learning life safety skills. And not only we're not talking about jobs, we're talking about careers. We're talking about pensions, you know, when they retire.
Careers that wouldn't be possible without Fire Engine 21.
It's really powerful just to know that there is like an entire black crew that was able to, respond to fires, respond to scenes of danger or whatnot.
It actually fills me with joy to know that it was a house filled with black firemen, and I know back then it probably was hard for them, and I'm really just thankful for everything they did to open the doors to help get us here to where we are now.
Fire Engine 21 should be remembered as a group of American men who stood up and became responsible individuals. They were life givers. They were life savers.
Honor the legacy. Celebrate the heroes. Dive into the rich history of Engine Company 21 with Black Heroes of Fire by Dekalb Walcott Jr. Purchase your copy today at blackheroesoffire.com.